Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is Sieg R2 video. So previously I already made the R0 and R1 video. If you haven't checked it out, you can check it out first. But basically it's going through like how is his performance at R0 and R1. It suits what kind of player base more. And for this video we'll be mainly focused on Sieg R2. I made him to R3, basically it's for the extra stats, but the most importantly is the R2 effect. So Sieg R2 here, I would say the target audience is more towards to the min-maxing endgame now, because this effect here at the Rezo 2. Okay, so this effect gives at the start of the combat, it gives every ally a Dragon Breath effect, which gives you attack 15%, which means at the start of the combat, you already have 15% attack higher than the other player, which is if you are playing in PvP, your Esper have 15% higher than the enemy. So let's say you're playing in a Moriyama team, or you're playing a Suizai team. So let's say you're playing with a Suizai team, right? Then an enemy Moriyama attack if higher than Suizai, then Moriyama can slash through Suizai. But if you have this Dragon Breath effect here, it will probably help you save your Suizai because you have 15% higher than the other player, something like that. And then this effect here, if your Esper actually attack on the target who have the Echo Scar, it will also instantly trigger the Echo Scar damage. So with this effect here, it makes your team a lot more flexible because you get attack, you also get some extra effect to trigger the Echo Scar. And then it will also apply 2 stack of Echo Scar on the enemy for 2 turns. So with this 2 stack, which is instantly reduce the enemy defense by 6% and the enemy attack by 6%. So this is pretty massive if you are at late end game player that you're chasing, like min-maxing the stats. This is important because it will reduce the enemy defense and also reduce the enemy attack. So let's say you're playing in a Suizai team, and then you don't want the enemy Moriyama attack to be higher than your Suizai because you want your Suizai to tank through the attack, and then your Suizai can counter attack, right? So now your Dragon Breath is going to give you 15% attack, and then enemy is going to get 6% attack reduced, so it's going to be a 21% difference in terms of stats. So R2 here is focusing on more late end game, right? So that's what I'm gonna say, and then it will help prop more the Sieg Echo Scar damage as well. Alright, so this one here I'll be showing PvE and PvP as well. So one of the most obvious changes, it will be at Ying. Alright, Ying here, which is Andras in the past. Okay, so I haven't tested in other bosses. I don't think they need, like Apep and Chronos is pretty stacked already. Fafnir, I'm not sure yet. And at least at Ying, because I saw one player at server 4, he actually made a 4-turn pretty consistent Ying run. So probably when I have a level 70 army, I can also try it out. Alright, so how it does is pretty interesting. So at the start of the combat, everyone get the Dragon Breath. So everyone's attack is higher, and at the same time, it will make your Elif attack more higher as well. It will make your Elif more consistent because 15% more attack, so your requirement on your equipment isn't going to be that high. And then all the enemy, you'll get defense reduced due to the Echo Scar, and then you're gonna have higher attack. Alright, so let's say I function S3 here, then my Elif have a very high chance to actually clear the whole wave. And then not just that, now my army do some damage here. The enemy has got defense reduction from the Echo Scar, which also means your ally will do easier damage to the enemy. So let's say I S2 here, my Elif can clear the wave easier, but I trigger the speed up, which is stupid. I have to retry the whole run. So let me show you an example. So he'll cast S3 on wave 1, it'll clear pretty consistent. Then when you go to wave 2, if your armor is level 70, it will clear this wave pretty easily because you can see even my armor level 60, it can almost kill the wave 2 with this mob like half HP here. So if level 70 armor, it can clear this wave pretty easily. Then you don't have to rely on Feng Shun taking 1 extra turn here. Basically you can save 1 extra turn. But for Feng Shun here, he have to cast S2 because I can't clear the wave. It clear S2. Then if you trigger Elif, it will cast S3, so I have to redo this again. Alright, Elif clear it, and then we go to the boss wave. So the boss wave damage here, if you trigger Avatara, it will be better because it will have a free damage output. Did I? Okay, I trigger Artiar, so I will do some damage here, but I trigger speed up. If I don't trigger speed up, I'll cast S3 for free. Alright, then Feng Shun S3 here. If he defend break, he did not defend break. Fuck, I have to re-record the fucking whole thing. Alright, clear the wave 2. Okay, go to the boss wave. The boss is gonna damage me, and then if I'm lucky, I'm gonna trigger Artiar to counter attack, so we get some free damage. If I don't, okay, at least I get it, then I'll cast S3 for free. So if I'm lucky enough, I'll land a defend break here. Since I'm not lucky enough, I have to cast Feng Shun S3 to defend break on the boss. So S3, defend break, nice. Then S3, then it's 5 turn now, right? So if I actually save the wave 2 turn, which is level 70 Armor, I can clear the wave 2 one shot, then I can make it to 4 turn. Alright, so this part here, Sieg will cast S2 in auto mode, and then he will instantly go into S3 in auto mode, and then Elif will follow up damage. So it will look something like this. S2, then S3, do some more damage, boom, explosion, then Elif follow up damage to the boss, then you clear the boss. Alright, so when Sieg went to R2, you can think of he become a passive buffer to your whole team. It gives your whole team 15% more attack. It gives the enemy team 6% defend down and 6% attack defend down. 6% defend down and 6% attack down. So when he go until R2, his value actually go a lot more higher because it's more targeting to the late end game player where you want to min-maxing stats. So same for PvP content. So PvP content, you don't treat him as a fighter. You kind of want to treat him as a passive debuffer. At the start of combat, instantly buff your team, instantly debuff the enemy, and because it's a golden realm debuff, it won't go off even though he dies. Alright, so let me find a target that is easier to show this. Alright, so let me take this as a showcase. So let me click on the replay here. So at the start of the combat, your team here have 15% higher due to the Dragon Breath, and enemy here, everyone will have 6% attack lower and 6% defend lower, which means we are making them a little bit more squishier, and this debuff here actually makes Suicai, it's pretty effective to Suicai because you can reduce his defense attack by 6%, which makes Suicai not able to instantly wipe your team very fast. Okay, then the other thing is, even though you can notice that the damage on Suicai isn't a lot, like every proc is like 3000 only, it doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. So you don't want to treat Sieg as the main DPS, you want to treat Sieg as a debuffer. The fighter role is a fake thing. You want to treat him as a debuffer, so now he's actually annoying the enemy team. Alright, annoying the enemy team. So you can think Sieg of a Iki. Like Iki, in the Iki team here, Iki is most likely gonna be a sub DPS. He's gonna annoy the team every time they take action. It's gonna max HP reduction them. It's gonna AP down them. Do a lot of stuff that actually annoying the enemy, right? And then treat Sieg as that position, and then you'll notice that now enemy have like this one, 2 turn of scar, 2 stack of scar. Now in Suicai here have 5 stack of scar, which is 15% attack lower and 15% defend lower. Same for the other enemy here. So when their defend and attack is lower, and your Esper here have the Dragon Breath, which makes your team attack is higher, you can actually have a lot more advantage in terms of stats. And you'll notice that the damage on Suicai counter attack isn't a lot. Like the proc here is okay, the damage, but it's not enough to actually kill Suicai because Suicai can out-heal the DPS, right? So Sieg here is just to annoy them, just to reduce their defense, make them squishier, and make them not that high damage, so your team won't get wiped easily. After that, my meta era can just wipe them with one shot. Something like that, okay? So you can treat him as a debuffer, and you don't treat him as a DPS. Alright, so let me pick other enemy. Alright, I got a victory for this part as well. You can see, treat Sieg as a sub DPS, treat your main like my meta era as my main DPS, and now let's take a look at the replay. So we're gonna annoy them by applying the Echo Scar at the start. We're gonna make our team with Dragon Breath, which our attack is higher. Every time Momo counter attack, you'll notice that the proc damage, the red color damage here, is just a little bit, because the Sieg here can't really crit on Momo because Momo have Spirit Aegis, right? Even though his advantage is a crit. But now, all we need to do is just stacking up the debuff on the enemy, and now they can annoy them by reducing their stats. So it's more about min-maxing. You see, Sieg is on stun, we don't even care about it, because I'm just buying time for my meta Ira to able to cast S3. While I debuff the enemy team, so enemy can't really do too much of damage to my Esper instantly. Right, meta Ira S3 again. Alright, so I hope this video actually enlightened you guys with the R2 effect. So my conclusion, I would say R0 to R1 is more, the target audience is more towards the newer player or the player who just reached endgame, they have some difficulty in terms of survival with the boss. Then R0 to R1 Sieg is pretty good for them. It's one of the best choice for them. But for a late endgame player like me, if you play the game for a very long time already, then you will find Sieg is pretty useless. But once you go until R2, once you are at the state of trying to min-maxing stats at the start, or like PvP, you're trying to min-maxing stats to annoy the enemy, then R2 comes in the value. So I might actually make a few more R2 video because I only have aim to R3. I will try to hit 4-turn Ying when I have the level 70 Armor. I'll make a showcase for that as well. And then probably try out more PvP team with R2 Sieg. Alright, so that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is GenMP, SPVCEJVMQ, Trendcan, thank you so much for your support. And also special thanks for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Chani, Antonio Winterspoon, Cragran, Calamity, Rokos Tendions, Jordan Alons. Special thanks for your support. And also special thanks for the Super Thanks MVP, HMZ, RY, and X, Reeds. Thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.